Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of what I hope is your favorite English show here on Vaughn Radio. So, folks, all aboard. Fasten your seatbelts and hold on to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
T-10, 9,
Now, count
8,
down with
7,
me.
6, 5,
I need you here.
4, 3,
Come on, it's a holiday
2,
week, man.
1, 0. Ignition.
This is going to be a weird week,
Liftoff.
but an amazing one.
30 minutes after the hour.
Here we go. All right, come on. Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Where? Get pumped. Motivate. Come on. I'm serious. Let's go. All right. Now we're talking. Ahora sí. Let's go. Show with no name. Come on, amigos. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We are in December. Christmas is just less than 20 days away. Well, because we don't celebrate it only on the 25th. We start to celebrate it on the 24th. Christmas Eve, especially here in Spain. And I got to tell you something, folks. I know. I've been in the holiday spirit for a long time. I'm one of those early guys. But you know what? I love the holiday spirit. If the holiday spirit means being a little extra thankful for your friends, your amigos, my show with no namers. If the holiday spirit means that, if it means getting together with your friends and family, if it means eating, I'm all for it. I'm not one of those people who believes you have to constantly consume more. But I do believe that it's a great time to reflect on the year, a great time to spend with your family and friends. Remember, we're going to be doing the show here live until the 22nd, so right up until almost Christmas Eve. And by the way, the 22nd, we'll be celebrating my sister's birthday, so you're going to want to join us. So many exciting things, my amigos. Also tomorrow, Wednesday, we've got another Learn with Lara, one of our new endearing sections here on the Show with No Name. So thank you, Show with No Namers. Thanks for joining us here. And I also hope you'll join us on December 13th. Guess who's hosting our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night?
My name's Richard Vaughn. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
You guessed it. None other than the one and only Richard Vaughn. Join us on Wednesday, December 13th at 8:30 p.m. We're gonna have fun. We'll laugh. We'll play. You'll meet your favorite Vaughn Radio presenters and your fellow students. And there are even prizes for the winning team. So don't miss it. Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hosted by the one and only Richard Vaughn. Wednesday, December 13th at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23. It's gonna be tons of fun. You know it, amigos. Tons of fun. We'll be there. I know tons of my friends here at Vaughn Radio, students and teachers alike, have confirmed that they're gonna be there. And what a way to get into the holiday spirit. All right, folks, well, let's kick off with today's pop quiz. Come on, hands up. Get pumped. Get psyched. Get stoked. Tres formas de decir motivado. driven. What else do you want? You can say motivated if you want, but get pumped. Get pumped. Get pumped. I'm pumped. You can also say pumped up, which is a phrasal verb. You love those phrasal verbs, don't you? Oh, man. Let's go. You really, really love them. Here we go. Pop quiz. Come on. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, my amigos. That's right. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And you guessed it. I was giving you a little bit of foreshadowing, and foreshadowing is a writing technique. It's when in a movie, for example, or in a book, they give you a little glimpse, una ojeada, of what's to come. So you get a little glimpse of what's to come. And it's like, I use the example always like at the beginning of a play or a movie, they say, Johnson is always late, man. I mean, he is never on time. And they tell you that, they plant that seed in your head. So then later on in the movie, when they're at a meeting and Johnson comes strolling in the door 10 minutes late, you're like, that damn Johnson? Because you were already set up. It's called foreshadowing. It's preparing you for what's to come. It's a great writing technique because it makes the audience feel like, I know what's going on here. So for como prever, like to foresee is prever, right? Forecast, previsión, no solo de meteorológica, no me sale esa palabra nunca, but also la previsión de ventas. So we're going to learn some phrasal verbs today from one of our books here from Vaughn Radio, Domina los malditos phrasal verbs. Oh my God, I hate phrasal verbs, but guess what? We use them all the time. All the freaking time. And since I'm a teacher, I pay more attention. And really, I've had students say, isn't there any way to get around these? I'm like, you just used one. Yeah, but man, you know, do I need them to get by? I'm like, well, you just used another one. I mean, and then they say, well, all right, what if I don't use those ones? If I say to survive, I'm like, well, what's the first thing you do in the morning? They're like, wake up. I'm like, there we go again. So Richard Vaughn and company have put together a very extensive material called Phrasal Verbs Ingleses. Domina los malditos phrasal verbs. Master those damn phrasal verbs. The word damn, malditos, is D-A-M-N. La N es muda, es damn. So what's this book about? Well, it's got every kind of phrasal verb that you can think of, especially the most common ones. Why? Well, why are we going to teach you the least common ones when we can teach you the most common ones? Doesn't that make sense? That's why I use my show with no name filter here on the show. I'm like, is this really important for them to know? So one's like hinchar o ampliar, to blow up, right? It's not soplar arriba. And, bueno, también es explotar. También es ponerse muy popular. But again, everything in context. Pero luego si dices soplar las velas is to blow out your candles. So just with that word blow, we can just get so many different phrasal verbs. So this is for all levels, especially intermediate and advanced levels. And it really takes a look at these phrasal verbs. It's prepared by probably many of you may know and love. Toma, trabalenguas. Mickey Leonard. That's right, our good friend Mickey Leonard from Chicago. He's been working at Vaughn for, longer than I have, I believe, or just about the same time. And he's worked on the radio, he's worked in materials, and he even ran the master's program. So check it out. It's Mickey Leonard. The book is called Domina los malditos phrasal verbs ingleses. All right, well, here we go, folks. I'm going to warm up with you here with a few different phrasal verbs just to see if you know them. All right? So play along with me here. And remember, more importantly, sure, you can write them down if you want. But the most important part is that you say them. Because I'm not concerned whether you know if it's an up or not. I'm concerned if you know how to link that up with the word that comes before it. Right? So the example we always use here. I need to warm up. ¿Qué pasa ahí? Yo he dicho warm up or warm up. Es así. So I always, when you're listening to our Vaughn audios, which we're going to listen to a little audio clip in just a moment. But let's warm up. Ahí lo tienes. Dilo conmigo. Let's warm up. El primero. ¿Ves? I'm using phrasal verbs and I'm not even trying to use them. Let's see if you know some of these. Okay. La señora falleció después de una larga enfermedad. This is a really good one to know because you don't want to say the woman died, especially if you're talking to her family. It's just very cold. So we use another word or two. The lady passed away after a long illness or sickness. So you can say illness or sickness. The lady passed away. Fíjate cómo lo pronuncio. Passed away. La T va con away. Right? So we're always looking at that because normally you'll say them together. So you learn them together as one solid sound. The lady passed away after a long illness. Is there another option? Yes, there is. The lady passed on after a long illness. To pass on. And you can even say the lady passed after a long illness. All three are accepted. Use the one that's easier for you. Just make sure you're linking it the way I did. All right? So let's practice it. The lady passed away, passed on. De todas formas, la T va con la segunda parte, con la preposición. After a long illness. All right? Good. Good start. All right. Me desmayé. I had a student mix these up. The student said, Alberto, I passed away. I'm like, that's impossible. You can't fallecer and be talking to me. And she said, what? She was like, well, yesterday I was dizzy, estaba mareada, and I passed away. I go, no, you passed out. Otra vez. ¿Qué pasó con la T final de passed? Se une con out. He passed out. También es quedarse frito. So from context, oh man, what a long day yesterday. I got home and I passed out. That doesn't mean literally desmayarte. It means to fall asleep very quickly. All right, the next one. Dejé el colegio a los 15 años. Dejé el colegio a los 15 años. You know it? You can say I left school, but there's a phrasal verb that we always use. So, any Kanye West fans? He's got an album called College Dropout. Pues ahí lo tienes. Dropout es el sustantivo. El que abandona. He's a dropout. He's a college dropout. Dejó la universidad. So now that you know that, put it into a sentence for me. I dropped out of, fijaos, es una sola. To drop out of, to drop out of, en pasado. He dropped out of, perfect example, Steve Jobs. He dropped out of school when he was 15 years old. All right, to drop out of. All right, le gusta presumir. Le gusta presumir. He likes to show off. Otra vez, no hay pausa entre show y off. He likes to, y no digo likes to, it's to. Listen, he likes to show off. He likes to show off. So likes to siempre va junto. Y luego el phrasal verb siempre va junto. So it's dos partes. He likes to show off. He likes to show off. Dilo conmigo. Does he? Yo me como la H. Yo no digo does he. Does he like to show off? Yes, he likes to show off. He likes to. All right. Another one. No sé transmitírselo. Ooh. I don't know how to get it across to them. No sé cómo transmitírselo. I don't know how to get it across to them. Muy común decir, ¿me entendiste? ¿Me comuniqué claramente? Did I get my point across? O sea, otra vez este verbo get también, que es tan útil. All right. 2 more, and then we're going to listen to the audio, and then I've got a job for you. I hope you're at least saying these sentences along with me. No puedo seguir el ritmo. No puedo seguir el ritmo. This is an easy one. Come on, we've used this one a lot here on the show. It's I can't keep up. And I think you guys probably know this one from music. I'm sure it's in many, many songs. Great job. And now I've got a job for you, my amigos. So here it is. This is from Domina los Malditos Phrasal Verbs. Pay close attention, and then I'll give you your mission.
To climb up.
Voy a tener que subir al tejado.
I'm going to have to climb up onto the roof.
No debería subir ahí arriba sin cuerda.
You shouldn't climb up there without a rope.
¿Y si subiera ahí arriba con una escalera?
What if I climbed up there with a ladder?
¿Sabes cómo subir a una escalera?
Do you know how to climb up a ladder?
Si puedo escalar el K2, puedo subir a una escalera.
If I can climb up K2, I can climb up a ladder.
¿Cuánto tardasteis en subir a la cima del K2?
How long did it take you to climb up to the top of K2?
Subimos a la cima en 3 horas.
We climbed up to the top in 3 hours.
Mi coche no será capaz de subir esa colina.
My car won't be able to climb up that hill.
Si no estuviera tan helada, podríamos subir.
If it weren't so icy, we could climb up.
Si subimos, ¿cómo bajaremos?
If we climb up, how will we climb back down?
All right, there we go, my amigos. Really good one to know because it's not just used in the literal sense. We talk about the social ladder. You say trepa, I believe, as well. So we say a social All right, so what's your job? Good question. In fact, I thought you'd never ask. Eso es algo que decimos ahí en plan graciosete, right? Trying to be cute. I thought you'd never ask. Oye, apúntale, porque son cosas muy, muy nativas. I thought you'd never ask. Cuando evidentemente iban a preguntar. There's always a hint of irony in that. All right, so what do I want you to do? I want you to rhyme some words with the word escalar, trepar. That's what you have to do. And I want you to use a full sentence. Don't just spit words at me. I want you to use a full sentence, my amigos. All right? I think you guys can handle it. And you know what? I thought I was going to put my foot in my mouth because you know me, and I thought I was going to say it. But now I'm going to know who was paying attention in that audio. Again, the audio is from Domina los Malditos Phrasal Verbs. It's available at the Von Tienda. It's vontienda.com. And if you want to check it out, we've got a lot of special deals going on right now. You can find all the information on our website, grupovon.com. Or, again, I think the easiest way is to follow us on social media. So using full sentences, I want to know words that rhyme with, casi lo he dicho otra vez, escalar in English. And if you can't think of a sentence, just say, rhymes with escalar. Rhymes with escalar. All right, guys. And in the meantime, while you guys are thinking that through, I think it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Show with no name.
That's right, my amigos. It's homophones only on the Show with No Name. And this is, okay, it's 50-50, yes or no, but you got to know the words, and then you have to know the nuances, matices, of how they're pronounced. And that's really, really important, because that's the difference between saying beach, playa, and bitch, perra. And you don't want to mix those up. Another one where you could really put your foot in your mouth is shit, sheet, right? Shit siendo mierda and sheet siendo hoja. So that's exactly why I created this section, because I realized that there were many, many students who were having difficulty with certain vowel sounds. And that's the whole reason in today's pop quiz, I told you to rhyme some words for me, because that's the way we learned when we were kids. Seriously, the teachers would say, which of these words doesn't rhyme? Which is the odd man out? ¿Te sabes esta expresión? The odd man out, el que no encaja. All right, well, folks, I'm going to give you the two words right now, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our pop quiz. We've got Say What. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, in fact, spelling bee. So here we go. The first word in our homophone section today is as. As. So if you play cards, well, it's one of the suits. We call them suits, right? You got a, see me in my big mouth? But I've been catching myself, huh? So you've got diamonds, clubs, spades. Okay, and then, no, pero esto no es, these are, see, I get confused because I don't play cards very much. So you got, oh no, so this would be, let me explain it here. This would be the equivalent of one, if I'm not mistaken, porque empiezan con dos. So sometimes it's a wild card, un comodín. But it also means un hacha, un as, a great person. It was used a lot back in the day, especially when you had these, in World War II and all. I mean, they called them los ases, no? A los cazas, the fighter pilots. It's also a tennis shot. Es un golpe en tenis. So I know you guys are probably familiar with the word. Also es aprobar algo o hacer algo, aprobar un examen o hacer algo con facilidad total. So that is your first word, okay? And the second word is the plural of the first word in the English alphabet and the Spanish alphabet too. So the translation in Spanish would be AES. So no una A. So yo tengo dos AES en mi nombre. Would that AES in English sound like as? And as I said, as has many meanings in English, which we will take a look at. But right now, we've got to take a quick commercial break. We have got so much stuff to do, ladies and gentlemen. Tons of fun. We're getting in the holiday spirit. Here on the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. And the great thing is, when this show's over today at 12:30, you've got Ximena Holiday, You've got the lunchtime show. I mean, I couldn't leave you in better hands. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with part 2 of today's show with no name. So, say it with me. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And by the way, guys, I gotta say, I'm still on cloud 9. On cloud 9 es estar en una nube. December 1st was my real birthday. Okay, not my birthday. Like December 1st was the 20th anniversary of Vaughn Radio, where you guys all participated. And okay, I had fun on my birthday, but I felt like, man, it was one of the greatest birthday bashes I had been to in a while. And again, that's thanks to you guys. Thank you so much, Show with No Namers. Vaughn Radio listeners, you guys are our best ambassadors. I'm telling you, nobody can spread the word like you guys. I'll tell you why. Because you're the proof. You're the proof that you can learn English if you want to. You put a little oomph, un poco de energía, ganas. O-O-M-P-H. You put a little oomph into it. And I guess you can do anything. So, my amigos, if you want more information about anything we offer here at Vaughn, you can go to our website. I highly recommend Vaughn Groups. Do you know about Vaughn Groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. More information at our website, grupovon.com. But right now, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Come on, say what? Come on, what? Come on, come on. Get pumped. Get pumped. If you don't learn anything else today, you better learn Get Pumped. Motívate. Amigos. Great to be with you here, even though it's a crazy holiday week. Some people have the whole week off. If you're chilling right now, man, enjoy it. Enjoy it to the max. What a great way to get ready for the holiday season, having a little long weekend. Yeah. As you guys know, we'll be here on Thursday. We have a live show on Thursday as well. We'll just be off like I think most people have off Wednesday and Friday. But we'll be here on Thursday kicking it live. All right, amigos. So here's your Say What soundbite. As always, I'm going to play this soundbite for you 4 times on the show today, and you guys have to write down what you hear. And this guy, I'll just say one thing. This guy's a freaking legend. Here we go.
I, for one, am frankly a little tired of all of the talk about editorials, quote, what's wrong with Hollywood, unquote. I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs and the star system and how we need government subsidies. I know it and you know it, but we need a good pictures.
All right, there you go, folks. That's the Say What soundbite for the first time. I'll give it to you again in just a moment. Just give you a second to let it sink in. And if you don't recognize the voice, it's the voice. Yeah, the voice. Now remember, the important part is not recognizing the voice. The important part is participating and giving us your best take, toma o opinión, on what you heard. It's a chance for you to express yourself in English, just like our question of the week and many other sections. But in this section, you can be a little detective and be like, this is what I think's going on. I could be wrong. This is a chance for you to let your personality shine through. All right, is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
I, for one, am frankly a little tired of all of the talk about editorials, quote, what's wrong with Hollywood, unquote. I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs and the star system and how we need government subsidies. I know it and you know it, but we need a good pictures.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we've got a couple fronts open. I just realized we've got to solve our pop quiz where we're looking at words that rhyme with escalar. I almost said it again. See? Oh man, me and my big freaking mouth. We also have to take a look at our homophones, and I'm seeing some people are saying that these words sound the same, and others are saying they don't. Now, this is interesting because of late, it's another way of saying lately, últimamente, it's been pretty unanimous. So that's why it's weird that today we don't all agree here. But I like it. It makes things super interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to say both words. I think it's the best way because even if you were wrong, you'll know. You'll hear it unless your ear is really that bad. Hey, some people, I don't want to say it. Some people I know in my family, and it's not my daughter. I just let the cat out of the bag. They sing like this. And I'm not saying I'm a great singer, but my wife sings like Elmer Fudd. And God, I hope she's not listening right now. Or any of her friends. But did I tell you she's got gorgeous eyes? See, I'm getting myself in trouble. I'm going to be in the doghouse. Castigado. You guys say en el sofá, right? We say in the doghouse, directamente. Nosotros vamos de la cama a la caseta del perro. Oh, wow. No mercy. No mercy. All right, so the first word is ace. As I said, it's a verb, too. It's a regular verb, so aced. Suena como una T al final. He aced his exam. Do you get it? We're really proud of him. He aced his exam. You're going to ace it. Lo vas a hacer con facilidad. Why? Because you're an ace. You're definitely an ace. As we said, the fighter pilots were called aces back in the day as well. And in cards, we talk about the ace, the 2, 3, 4 in a deck, barajas, in a deck of cards. So ace. That's our first word. And the second word, well, una A, siempre si es plural, lo miramos en singular primero y añadimos. So A, I have one A in my first name. A, B, C, no, de toda la vida. I have 2 A's in my name. All right. I'm going to ace the exam because I have 2 A's in my name. Espera, lo bajo más. I'm going to ace the exam because I have 2 A's in my name. They are not homophones. Wow. Good job, folks. Excellent. So, repeat after me. La primera, as, ace. Oh, and we also say he has an ace up his sleeve, en la manga. Pero acuérdate, la preposición is up, not in, right? He has an ace up his sleeve. So, ace. And the second one is A's. So, primero, el sonido vocal de ace, as, es rápido, como as. Piénsalo así, ace. Hey, ace. O sea, es un... Y es un sonido S, ace, right? Ace. And the second one is A. It's más largo. A, B, A. And when we add the S, he's got 2 B's in his name. He's got 2 A's in his name. So yes, they are not the same. Not just the vowel sound, but the ending sound. De hecho, si habéis, if you're paying attention, the word bees, bes, suena igual que bees, bzz, bzz, right? So we're always playing with words here and playing with sounds. And speaking of, let's go to our pop quiz where we were looking at words that rhyme with climb. Oh, there we go. See? I was trying to wink it at you guys. If you're watching in the live stream right now, I was like, wink, wink, dándote la indirecta ahí. So the word is climb, and climb rhymes with time. Rhyme. Acuérdate, time, si no lo ves escrito, puede ser tiempo o puede ser tomillo, T-H-Y-M-E, otros homófonos. What about crime? Delito. So the crime rate is starting to climb. They rhyme every time, even if you mix it with lime. And can I borrow a dime? 10 centimos, because there's another one, I'm. So I'm going to climb. Hey, it's a good idea if you guys can write your own raps over here. I'll give you the beat. Come on. Yo, I rhyme every time that I drink some lime. I put it in time, in my crime, in my prime. It's grime every time I All right, I'm out of rhymes. I can't go that fast. So, dime. I'm giving you common ones too, because right here it gives me 190 words that rhyme with it. Okay? And it's cool because the name of the website is Rap Pad. O sea, si quieres rap, está hecho para eso. So there you go, my amigos. Excellent job to everybody who participated in our pop quiz. Wonderful job. All right. What else have we got? I'm trying to close these fronts before I open up any new fronts. All right. Well, I think I know what time it is, folks. It is time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And let's see what we've got for today's Name That Movie. All right. If you know me, then you know this is probably my favorite movie that's come out in the last 5 to 10 years. So, wow, this is a weighty claim. Es decir, mucho aquí. After 30 years, this guy, no voy a decir su apellido. After 30 years, this guy is still pushing the envelope as a top naval aviator, but must confront ghosts of his past when he leads the school's elite graduates on a mission that demands ultimate sacrifice from those chosen to fly it. Oh, that sounds exciting. So after 30 years, después de 30 años, after 30 years, a guy, you might recognize his name, a guy named Maverick, which I think we've looked at it before. I know we've looked at Top Gun, but the word Maverick is somebody who doesn't conform. Disidente, inconformista, Maverick. So it's the perfect name for Tom Cruise's character. So Maverick is still pushing the envelope. You can say envelope or envelope. Dilo conmigo. Envelope or envelope. And this means going further, right? To push the envelope is going too far. A ver cómo lo traducen aquí. I'm trying to think of an equivalent. A veces se me ocurre en español un equivalente y otras veces no. Expandir límites, ir un paso más allá, to push the envelope. And if you've seen this movie, which is awesome, the opening scene is him pushing the envelope. Okay, and that literally means, it sounds boring, empujando el sobre, but pushing the envelope is what a pilot does, especially if your name is Maverick and you went to Top Gun. So he's pushing the envelope as a top naval aviator. You say aviador, nosotros una T, como la película, the aviator, but must confront, enfrentarse a, ghosts of his past, ¿no? Las cosas que le persiguen de su pasado, los fantasmas. I think you say the same thing, figuratively speaking. When he leads, and to lead es liderar, siempre digo, pero no es liderar, es llevar, dirigir. He leads Top Gun's elite graduates. And I want you to pronounce these words with me as well. To graduate, and the person is a graduate. So if we had to rhyme them right now, graduate, hate, mate, fate, late. And the other one, el sustantivo, graduate, wit, bit, hit, sit. See, it's a good way to say, okay, I've got this sound. Because some people say, sit down. It's not sit, it's sit. Yo te lo digo. I'm telling you, at least in Almería, there's a sound we make says, ¿qué haces? That's the sound. Eso es el sonido. Sit, ¿qué haces? Say. I'm telling you, if you can make that sound, you've got that bitch instead of beach, which a lot of people, as I said, mix up. And those are ones that you really don't want to mix up if you don't have to. So that's why we work on those nuances in our homophone section. So the elite graduates on a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice. And there's another one. Ultimate? No. Because mate, alguien que procreas con ellos, Diana is my mate. Mate rhymes with late, fate, great, wait, right? And ultimate rhymes with hit, shit, pit, wit. So again, those rhyming words could be you just finally, I think for us too, when we were learning the language, it made it click like, oh, so it's that sound. Okay, I got it. I got it now. So maybe associating those words and saying them aloud can help you. And again, there are many websites. If you just put ultimate or words that rhyme with ultimate, and you'll get it. So the ultimate sacrifice from those chosen to fly it. And as we know, Tom Cruise is not a fan of CGI. CGI is when they do the computer graphics. No todo esto falso is called CGI. And he's not a huge fan of CGI, as we know. So the result was a lot of the actors threw up. Well, when you hit anything over 4Gs, 4Gs, it takes its toll on you. Te pasa factura. I mean, literally, physically, your body just, oh. I remember I went flying once for my birthday, and it was cool. We did this aerobatics. And I remember after 40 minutes up there, and the max we went was 4Gs. When I got down, I was sore for 2 days. I'm telling you, estaba con agujetas 2 días. It was insane. So, yeah, not too much CGI, and you can tell. Se nota. You can tell when you're watching this movie. Also, it reminds me of the song Highway to the Danger Zone. I'm gonna take you right into the danger zone. What an amazing song. Kenny Loggins. And he did a re-record of the song for this movie. And instead, they went with the original. So I guess it lost its luster. Ha perdido su brillo. All right, let's take a look at this scene from the eagerly anticipated follow-up to Top Gun Maverick. Again, this is a movie, whether you like airplanes or not. Put the airplanes aside. This is a movie for people who love movies. Trust me. If you trust me, check it out. Now, if you can see it on the big screen, even better, obviously. All right, so the rear admiral, Admirante, you say, says, Maverick, 30 plus years of service, 30 años más de servicio, combat medals, citations. Okay, citations que te han dado méritos. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years. And the admiral's looking through his files, his records, no, su archivo. And the rear admiral says, distinguished, distinguished, distinguished. He says, you can't get a promotion. No te dan, no te suben. You won't retire, no te jubilas. And despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. Te niegas a morir. He says, you should be at least a 2-star admiral by now. En estas alturas de tu carrera, if not a senator, senador. Yet here you are, captain, which isn't, I guess, a high rank. He says, why is that? And Maverick says, it's one of life's mysteries, sir. And that's Tom Cruise being cute, being coy, like trying to be a smartass. It's one of life's mysteries, sir. And he goes, this isn't a joke. Esto no es una broma. I asked you a question. Te hice una pregunta. And then Maverick says very humbly, I'm where I belong, sir. Estoy donde pertenezco, donde debo estar. And he says, well, the Navy doesn't see it that way. Pues la Marina no lo ve así. Not anymore, ya no. And there's a pause. He says, these planes you've been testing, because he's a test pilot at the beginning of the movie. Captain, One day, sooner or later, they won't need pilots at all. Pilots that need to sleep, eat, take a piss. Pilots that disobey orders. Que no acatan los órdenes. All you did was buy some time for those men out there. The future is coming, and you're not in it. And then he says to his officers, escort this man off the base. Take him to his quarters, a su habitación. Wait with him while he packs his gear. I want him on the road to North Island within an hour. Le quiero de camino a North Island dentro de una hora. And Maverick is totally in shock. He's just like with his jaw dropped, as we say. And he says, North Island, sir? Like, I don't get it. And he goes, the call came with impeccable timing. Right as I was driving here to ground your ass once and for all, castigarte y dejarte en tierra de una vez por todas. It galls me to say, okay? Me molesta decirlo. But for reasons known only to the Almighty, Dios, the Almighty, and your guardian angel, you've been called back to Top Gun. And he goes, sir? Like he's in total shock now. And he goes, you are dismissed, Captain. Okay? Ya te puedes ir, which is vete de aquí ahora mismo. And he leaves his office and he goes, the end is inevitable, Maverick. Y quiero que pronunciéis esa conmigo. The end is inevitable. Inevitable. Se escribe exactamente igual. Inevitable, but we say inevitable. Inevitable. No parece nada si lo oyes así. The end is inevitable, Maverick. Your kind, los tuyos, your kind is headed for extinction. Vais a estar en extinción. To be headed for es vas de camino a. And then Maverick turns around and he says, maybe so, sir. Quizá puede que tengas razón, señor, but not today. And that's just, I mean, this is typical Tom Cruise doing what he does. Whether he's in Cocktail or in Maverick. Again, it's a movie for movie lovers. But that wraps up our movie section. When we come back, we've got Double Trouble. We got Say What Soundbites. Famous birthdays. Man, we got a lot of stuff to cover here in the second half of today's show. It's a special week because it's the holiday before the holiday. But don't worry, we're going to be with you all week. Well, except for Wednesday and Friday. But then again, Wednesday and Friday, you'll have repeats. And you can learn from those as well. Folks, we'll be right back with tons more. So, stick around. Nice job, amigos, and thanks for learning and laughing with us here every day on the show with no name. Newsflash. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this breaking news. Attention all show with no namers. As of January 2024, the Show with No Name live stream will be available exclusively to my patrons. If you'd like to continue to watch the show daily and participate in real time, join us at patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. And what is Patreon, you may ask? Well, as many of you know, I've been teaching for over 20 years. I've taught all kinds of people, from famous folks to young kids. And with a background in acting, I love communication. I have a radio show that's been on the air for 15 years and a very successful podcast called FYI. I've also written 5 books and have appeared on numerous TV and radio programs. But the thing I'm most proud of is this curious community on Patreon that we are creating every day together. And I really think you should join us. For as little as €3 a month, you can have access to Show with No Name live stream daily. Every week you can get a bonus episode of FYI. Also PDFs so you can follow the podcast. And the moment you sign up, you'll have access to an archive of over 1,000 posts. You'll also get early access to all my content. And a new feature, a chat, so you can have direct access to me and your fellow students. And most of all, you'll be a part of a curious community of people just like you, English explorers. Consider joining us on Patreon for as little as €3 a month, and you'll get access to so many English resources. And I highly recommend you sign up for a yearly membership. This way you make a commitment and you'll also save 10%. And don't take my word for it. Just ask some of my interstellar students.
I've already improved my pronunciation, and as a consequence, I've gained a lot of confidence in my speaking. Thanks to our weekly review class and our monthly masterclass, where, by the way, to top it off, we have a lot of fun. In a nutshell, if you are willing to better your English, and much more, in a fun way, you won't regret it if you join us.
Alberto is a passionate teacher, an excellent communicator, and what I think is key, he's able to put himself in the student's shoes. He's always willing to help. You'll have access to a wide range of topics every week, bonus content, vocabulary receipts, weekly review classes, monthly master classes, and so on. I think it's much more than just learning English. So go to Patreon, have a look around, and give it a try.
Because it has helped me keep my English in check and improve my language skills in the most fun way, because his podcast is really entertaining and fun, and so are the classes that we have afterwards to revise and go over the vocabulary and just discuss interesting topics. So if you're considering becoming a Patreon, don't hesitate, because that's a great way to improve your English.
We now return you back to your regularly scheduled program. So what are you waiting for? Learn and laugh with us in our curious community over on patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. See you there. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's Show with No Name on this weird holiday week. What is it, Inmaculada? What is the Puente? I always get confused. Well, either way, it's nice to have 2 days off. Even though I love my job, I love what I do, and I love being here with you guys. Who doesn't love a little R&R? Oh yeah, I'm talking about rock and roll, but also rest and relaxation. A lot of times people say, man, how was your weekend? Oh man, finally I got a little R&R, some rest and relaxation. These are collocations. They're things that often go together. We go together like rama-lama-lama-lama-lama-ding-a-dang. Well, I hope you guys are having fun here today on the Show with No Name. Man, have we got a lot of stuff to cover in the next hour. And as you know, sometimes you got to miss the show. I know it. You got a doctor's appointment or, whatever. Life. It's called life. Don't worry. You can always tune in wherever you listen to podcasts. That's iVox, Spotify. And don't forget about my podcast. Comes out every week. Well, right now we're on a break, but I'm still releasing bonus episodes of FYI for your English. Just remember, the bonus episodes are exclusively for my amigos on Patreon and my curious community. But many of you are there already. But if you're not, just be extremely patient. And sometimes I share them here on the show with no name. So being an FYIer and being a show with no namer has its privileges. All right, folks, it's time for a double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's double trouble. Oh my God. Jeez Louise. All right. Well, today you got to know a little bit about nature. You got to know a little bit about aviation, or you just have to look it up. Now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. Okay. It's going to be really tough, but by the end of it, you'll know it all. It's a double trouble. You have to use the same word twice. So there are two sets of words. So el piloto durmió como un tronco. Okay. Apuesto que no puso eso en su diario de vuelo. Él siempre ha sido inconstante o caprichoso. Okay, so let me go. Vamos por partes aquí. So, the first part, el piloto durmió como un tronco. That's very similar. Por eso dije, tenéis que saber de la naturaleza. So, el piloto durmió como un tronco. Apuesto que no puso eso en su diario de vuelo. Él siempre ha sido inconstante o caprichoso. And while you're thinking that through, let me tell you about Oxford English. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. Find out more information at our website, grupovon.com. Again, the easiest way, I think it's the best way to be in the loop, al tanto, is to follow us on social media. And when I say us, I mean Grupo Von. I mean my amazing friends who work here and who make Von Radio and Grupo Von what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. What have we got to do? Because I know we've got a lot of stuff. Oh, right. Say what soundbite. Is everybody ready? Here it is for the third time.
I, for one, am frankly a little tired of all of the talk about editorials, quote, what's wrong with Hollywood, unquote. I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs and the star system and how we need government subsidies. I know it and you know it, but we need a good pictures.
All right, there you go, folks. And I'm going to give it to you one more time because remember, you get it a total of 4 times. So is everybody ready? This is, as I said, The Voice, one of the most famous people to ever walk the planet. IMO, in my opinion, and I think, arguably, I don't think many people, maybe Elvis, but this guy's like in the pantheon of amazing entertainers. And here he is for the 4th time.
I, for one, am frankly a little tired of all of the talk about editorials, quote, what's wrong with Hollywood, unquote. I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs and the star system and how we need government subsidies. I know it and you know it, but we need a good pictures.
All right, there we go, my amigos. Hopefully somebody will be able to figure that out. But right now, we've got to take a look at our double trouble. So, el piloto, the pilot. Just be careful because a lot of my students have mixed up the word pilot, como piloto de motor, with pilot, piloto de avión o helicóptero. So, if it flies, you're a pilot. If it doesn't, you're a racer. A racer, right? Haces carreras. A racer or a race car driver or a rider if you're a motorcycle. But in the end, if you're racing, you're a racer, not an eraser. An eraser? Are you a racer or an eraser? All right, I'll stop. But hey, that could be a good homophones one day. So the pilot slept like a log. And I want you to be careful with this word here because a log is el tocón. So it's not really a literal translation. Okay? No, I'm sorry. So tocón is a stump of the tree. So the part that's cut, if you cut a tree down and then you've got that part with the roots that's in the ground, that's the stump. And a log is the other part. So just to clear that up there. But the expression is, I slept like a log, man. I slept like a log. So in this case, the pilot slept like a log. I bet, apuesto, he didn't put that in his flight log. So I bet is apuesto, okay? And a flight log, well, flight is de vuelo, so that makes sense. And log, well, we just said it's something in nature, but also a log is like a journal where you take notes, usually in a technical way. So, for example, in a flight log, you're like, okay, 8:42 p.m. We just checked the combustion systems. It's really important to document everything. And you call it, I think, bitácora. It's really like un cuaderno where you write everything down. So if there's ever a problem, now obviously on a plane, you also have your flight recorder, right? The black box as it's called. But a flight log is where the pilot takes any notes, just lets everybody know what's going on, takes a record of what's going down. And it's not just used in aviation, right? A log is it's literally like a diary. Un diario, where you write in it every day and any change. Okay, well, we noticed that the engines work. A flight log. And this way they can always go back and check the record. So far we've got the pilot slept like a log. I bet he didn't put that in the flight log. And the last part, él siempre ha sido inconstante, caprichoso. That word is flighty. He's always been flighty. Did you know that word? Now, you want to hear something funny? Do you know we do say the word capricious? Yeah, but it's not as common. He's flighty. He's flaky. No es de fiar. Nunca se sabe. No cuentes con él. Flighty. Good word. Did you know? I know you know the word flight. So I was just trying to take that word flight that you already know and add a Y and say, pues mira, ya sabes un adjetivo. Y seguro, I'm sure you can all think of somebody in your head who's flighty. So the translation was, the pilot slept like a log. I bet he didn't put that in the flight log. He's always been flighty. All right, my amigos, great job. Right now it's time for your joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. All right, my amigos. Here we go with today's jokes. And I figured since we were talking about logs, we're talking about the woods and forests, I figured we could just keep going down that nature path. Because you know what? When in doubt, just go into nature. When you're feeling confused, when you're feeling tired, when you're feeling run down, when you're feeling overwhelmed, go for a nature walk. Like, don't just walk. A nature walk is where you stop and you look and you observe and you touch things. Like a nature walk is un paseo, pero interactivo. My daughter loves nature walks. So there's nothing like a nature walk, because you could play with toys, and my daughter's got everything. She's got, a million toys. In fact, sometimes I think we overdid it with the toys. Nos hemos pasado. The good thing is she's learning that when she doesn't play with a toy anymore, we donate it. And that's a great thing that she's learning over there. But we learn from nature. We learn from playing, right? In fact, we were playing yesterday with Lego. De hecho, no es Legos. Muchos americanos dicen Legos. By the way, there's an FYI episode on these amazing blocks, which I'm sure are on many people's Christmas lists this year. Lego? Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And if you don't think so, well, what about yours truly? Yeah, well, folks, Lego is on my shopping list as well. Well, I'm not going to shop for it, but if anybody wants to buy it for me, I don't think it's cheap, and I don't even know if you can get your hands on it. What am I referring to? Mixing two of my favorite things, Lego and aviation. Recently, they released, I think just literally a month or two ago, they released a Lego version of the Concorde, the famous supersonic jet. So if anybody's thinking of any birthday no, I'm joking. I mean, any Christmas. My birthday's not until next year. Jeez Louise. It's Jesus's birthday, not yours, Alberto. All right, well, here we go with today's jokes. What do you call a parrot that flew away? What do you call a parrot that flew away? A polygon. No? Polygon? No? Did you get it? A polygon? Well, Polly is another way to say a parrot. Polly want a cracker. Polly. You know any Nirvana fans in the house? Polly wants a cracker. The thinker should get off her first. Maybe she wants some water to put out the blowtorch. Here's many you haven't seen. Let me clear up dirty way. Let me take a ride. Beautiful song, Polly, by Nirvana. So what do you call a parrot that flew away? A polygon? Polígono, polygon, pero poly es otra forma de decir parrot, and gone, se ha ido, polygon. All right. I got another one. I think this one's going to be easier to get. What do you call a sad bird? What do you call a sad bird? Think of it. Easy. A bluebird. A bluebird? A bluebird? a bluebird? Well, you call it azulejo, I believe, is what it's called. It says here, a type of small bird. A bluebird. Not to be confused with a blackbird, which is another song. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. A blackbird is un mirlo. Mirlo. A blackbird. What we're talking about, bluebirds. You get it? Blue. To be blue is to be triste. A bluebird. All right. What do you call a very rude bird? A very rude bird, maleducado. A mockingbird. No. A mockingbird que se burla de los demás. To mock. Are you mocking me? ¿Te estás burlando de mí? A mockingbird? Riseñor. I think that's it. How do you say it? Ruiseñor? I don't even know. See, I'm learning my birds. I've been living here for 20 years. Sinsonte. It says here sinsonte. Oh, look at that. Thenthontle, sinsonte. Wow. Mockingbird. It's a famous novel, To Kill a Mockingbird. I thought it had a different name in Spanish for some reason. All right, well, to mock means to make fun of. Burlarse de. All right, and the last one here. What kind of birds do you usually find locked up? What kind of birds do you usually find locked up? Jailbirds. A jailbird? All right. Un pájaro de la cárcel? But what? Well, a jailbird is what we say to somebody who's in jail. Oh, his uncle was a jailbird. If you remember the movie Back to the Future, which I'm sure you all do, his uncle's name, when they have a cake for him and they're singing happy birthday, his uncle's in jail. And he goes, oh, we're singing happy birthday to Uncle Jailbird Joey. And Jailbird, un pájaro, un tío que está en la cárcel. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed those jokes, and I hope you're ready to party in famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And our first birthday girl was born today in 1940, an American singer. And, well, she's definitely got some huge top 40 hits. Her style is like adult contemporary R&B, but she has just, man, she's got an amazing song. One of my favorite ones, which I always think of you guys, my amigos, through good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. What a beautiful one that is. She's also got Walk On By, Alfie, Don't Make Me Over, and so many other ones. Oh, and she's also very well known in the United States now for being for the tarot, for the horoscopes and all of that stuff as well. So she's made, as well as a singing career, she's made a career out of astrology and all of that jazz. Number 2, this person has only had one career and she's kicked ass the whole way through. She's an actress who was born in the United States today in 1970. If I'm not mistaken, she's from Brooklyn. She was in A Beautiful Mind. She was in Top Gun Maverick. She was also in Hulk. And I think the one where she got the attention of everybody, which was, what is it called now? I can't remember the name. Requiem for a Dream. What a film. And last but not least, from Hoboken, New Jersey, even though his most famous song is New York, New York, the chairman of the board, as they called him, El Jefazo, Old Blue Eyes. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Dionne Warwick. That's right, Dionne Warwick. I remember hearing her all the time in my mom's car because my mom always had easy listening. My mother was never into the rock or the hip hop stuff like I was. So she always went to 50s and then adult contemporary and easy listening. So, I mean, this is just, I got to say, wonderful voice, just like our third birthday boy. Our third birthday boy, I'm sure everybody knows now, is Frank Sinatra. And our second, Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly, amazing actress and talent who I think, she's been taking the world by storm for quite a bit. Oh, and I didn't even realize that. She was in the 1984 movie Once Upon a Time in America. Aha, she played a little kid. It was her acting debut. And that'll bring us over to today's Say What soundbite. This is Old Blue Eyes. No, Blue Eyes de toda la vida. Old Blue Eyes, the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. And I thought the irony here was in this speech that he's giving in front of all of Hollywood, he starts out by saying, frankly. I'm like, tío, le has dado una pista, los show with no namers there. So he says, I, for one, yo, al menos, and frankly, I, for one, am frankly a little tired of all the talk about editorials. Okay? Editorial es muy fácil. What's wrong with Hollywood? ¿Qué le falla a Hollywood? ¿Cuál es el problema que tiene Hollywood? He says, I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs. Estoy harto de oír sobre runaway productions and costs. Runaway es se te escapa. O sea, se te pasa de presupuesto en la producción, en los costes. So runaway. I'm sure you know it from many songs. Run away from the pain, yeah, yeah, yeah. Jane has got a gun. Run away. So in this case, runaway es se te van de las manos. Se te escapan. Think about it. Huyen, right? So I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs. And the star system. The star system is when they a production house would hire one actor for 20 movies. And now you get hired per movie. But they're like, you would have to make a movie whether you liked it or not because you were under contract. That's called the star system. And how we need government subsidies, ayudas del gobierno, subsidies. He says, I know it and you know it. What we need are good pictures. And it's funny because the word movie comes from moving pictures. Now we call them movies. But back then they called them pictures. So here's the one and only chairman of the board, Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, the guy who did it his way.
I, for one, am frankly a little tired of all of the talk about editorials, quote, what's wrong with Hollywood, unquote. I'm sick about hearing of runaway productions and costs and the star system and how we need government subsidies. I know it and you know it, but we need a good pictures.
All right, amigos, we are going to a quick commercial break. We will be right back with part 4. I just got a little bit nostalgic over there. You know who used to say pictures? My grandpa, Alberto, the guy I'm named after. But I mean, he used to say it in the 90s. He was like, have you seen the latest Spielberg picture? And I used to laugh at him. Me reía de él. I'm like, picture? Como foto? It's funny how words change in meaning. These are all cultural things. And I like to think that's something we do here on the show with No Name. We don't just learn language. We learn a little bit about the culture as well. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this part 4. I can't believe it. part 4 of today's show with no name. It's a wacky holiday week, amigos. You can expect the unexpected here as we enter the holiday season. I don't know about y'all, but I'm in the holiday spirit. And since sharing is caring, do you know this expression? Sharing is caring. El que quiere comparte, ¿no? Compartir es la vida, I think you say, something like that. Sharing is caring. Well, since you guys shared so much with us last week when we had our 20th anniversary party, well, I'm going to share something with all of you. Because as we just said, sharing is caring, amigos. So remember before, I was talking about Lego. As I said, they're not called Legos. I learned that when I prepared the episode of FYI. They're not called Legos. They're called Lego. And I'll tell you something. We're going to reminisce right now. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. And we are going to rediscover Lego. And this is the bonus episode. So nobody has heard this yet, unless you are in my curious community. So this is exclusively for Show with No Namers today as a way of saying thank you. And I hope it takes you on a trip down memory lane like it did for me. Hello, 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 and welcome to this, the bonus part of today's FYI, where we're going to learn so many things about Lego. And I didn't tell you guys this, which is kind of crazy, because right now we're playing with time and space. And I'm going to teach you a strange tense in English. A tense es un tiempo verbal. So don't get tense. Okay. All right. Not funny. The future perfect continuous. So right now, if you ask me if I've ever been to Legoland, the answer is no. But I can tell you by the time you listen to this, I will have been to Legoland, barred some weird circumstances, and barred some weird circumstances is, bueno, si no hay ninguna circunstancia rara, because I'm supposed to go in the summer, but I'm recording this right before the summer. So as I said, we're playing with time and space. I will have been there by the time you heard this. As I said, this is a tense we don't use very often, the future perfect continuous. It's also called the future perfect progressive. And we can take a look at it in one of our monthly classes, no problem. All right, let's start out with something that absolutely blew my mind. In September of the year 2014, Lego surpassed Hasbro to become the world's second biggest toy maker. Now, do you know who number one is? At the time of this recording, it's Mattel. That's right. Number 2, Lego, and number 3, Hasbro. But I mean, Lego's not just a toy maker. They're a global brand. They have movies. And when I say movies, I was going to give you a list of the Lego movies. And then I realized there are literally like 20, 30 of them. Let me just give you a couple of them really quickly. The Lego movie, 2014. The Lego Batman movie, 2017. That went really well, so they released the Lego Ninjago movie, 2017 as well. The Lego Movie 2, the second part, 2019. And then they have a lot of canceled films. Oh, I didn't notice that. No, not a lot, just 2 canceled films. They have short films, I would say I see about 10 or 12, let's say a dozen of those, and they don't show any signs of slowing down. I remember seeing the Lego Batman movie, and it is really, really funny. It's voiced by Will Arnett. He's a really famous comedian in the United States, and he does the voice of Batman. If you haven't seen it, I mean, this isn't my cup of tea, really. I like Lego, but I don't like these kind of movies. But I thought it was just awesome because he plays like this smart aleck. You can say smart aleck or smart ass Batman. And it's the Lego Batman movie, as I said. Ninjago movie, I saw that one. It was okay. There were some funny lines. I remember I saw that one at the Warner theme park here in Madrid. They had like a screening in the morning for kids, and then after they opened up the park for us. So that was a lot of fun, although I remember thinking to myself, okay, is the movie over yet? I'm ready to go on the rides. And I guess that's a good segue to talk about the theme parks. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of theme parks, their goal is bigger, faster, right? More adrenaline, but not Lego. Their goal is to entertain the whole family. Now, they say that their parks are generally for 11-year-olds and under, and obviously they're made for the whole family. And the one I'm going to is in New York. They just opened it recently. And I'm going to have you guess, how many Lego parks do you think there are? Again, at the time of the recording of this episode, how many Lego parks do you think there are worldwide? All right, well, I'll tell you at the end here. But the first one, the one that started it all, is Legoland Billund Resort in Denmark. Naturally, that would have to be in Denmark. It is the oldest theme park of the brick company, and it was built near the original Lego factory. So that one really, really has deep roots in the company. You know, the one in China, okay, it's still Legoland and it's beautiful, and they really did a nice job with the theming, but there's something about that Denmark one. There's something about being the first, and it attracts 1.5 million visitors every year. 1.5, or you can say 1.5 million visitors. And that park opened in 1968. And this is something I didn't know either. Legoland is a chain of family theme parks. Okay, I knew that part. But the theme park focuses on Lego, but it's not fully owned by the Lego group. So they have some contracts, some negotiations. I imagine they have some stock or some shares, algunas acciones. But the main partner in this venture, the theme park branch, ¿no? Vamos a decir el sucursal, el ramo que es los parques temáticos. Well, that is a British entertainment company called Merlin Entertainments. And as I said, they're not really big on thrill rides. You know, you're not going to find a free fall, una caída libre, or, you know, the latest roller coaster with 75 loops that does 4Gs, 4Gs. No, that's not Legoland's claim to fame. It's a park for the whole family where everybody can grow and have fun. What? Grow? But what do you mean grow? Well, if growing and learning are the same thing, remember, at the parks, aside from the rides and all the Lego cities, they also show you how water flows. They have these channels, and the kids can build dams. Pueden hacer diques o presas, and they can learn to build things and solve problems. So it's not just a park where you go and have fun and take pictures with Mickey Mouse, but there's an educational aspect. And I think that's something that parents will keep coming back for. Hey, wait, my kid's going to have fun? My kid's going to learn? Oh, I guess my kid's listening to FYI then. Okay, now it's time. How many Legoland parks do you think there are at the time of the recording of this episode? If you said 10, you nailed it. 10. Does Disney have 10 parks? Okay, maybe, but that's Disney. That's serious business. And their parks are all over the planet. As I said, the first one was in Denmark. Then you've got California. You've got Florida, New York, which just opened recently, Malaysia out in the east. You've got Dubai, Windsor, Japan, Korea, and Germany. And there are more being planned as we speak. So it seems like it's working. Whatever Lego has been doing is working. They have the winning formula and they haven't changed it, at least as far as the bricks are concerned. Now I'd like to take a look at some fun facts. And I guess all the facts about Lego are fun because we're talking about toys in the end. But did you know that the world's largest tire manufacturer is Lego? And I said the word tire using air quotes. No, cuando haces las citas en el aire, we say air quotes. Yeah, they are the world's largest tire manufacturer. Okay, they're not real tires, but those tires that go on the Lego cars, they make 400 million of them a year. And that's an even better year than Goodyear. Okay. Don't fire me or stone me. Get it, Goodyear? Firestone? No me eches, no me tires piedras. Okay, really bad jokes. But you know me, I love playing with words and Legos. And James May is no exception. Who? James May? Who's that? Well, he's a guy from Great Britain, and in 2009, he created the first full-sized Lego house. And how many bricks did he use? 3.3 million bricks. Acordaos, point es coma para vosotros. It includes a working toilet. Imagine that, doing your business on Legos. I don't know. Maybe that's taking it too far. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to see the house, but I don't know if I would take it this far. But then again, we're talking about him. He's kind of a local celebrity in the Lego world. It also has a working shower and a bed, which are all made out of Lego bricks. Now, again, I don't know about that bed. I think I prefer a nice, comfortable mattress. And a mattress es un colchón. But if you're worried about it holding up your weight, sujetando tu peso, don't worry at all. No way. These things are tough as nails. Cuando algo está duro, decimos tan duro como los clavos, tough as nails. Lo decimos para personas también. Well, it takes, and I'm going to put it into layman's terms, términos cualquiera. But for those of you who know a little bit about science, it can take up to 4,240 newtons of force, the equivalent of 432 kilos, to smash one of these, para aplastar uno de estos. So 432 kilos, for those of you who are English or American, that's 953 pounds. And then you wonder, y luego te preguntas, why it hurts so much when you step on a Lego brick. And guys, I've done it. In fact, this is a perfect moment to look at the word. Let's tidy up. Let's clean up. Algo que digo con mi hija. Y otro es to put away. Hay que guardar las cosas. To put them away. These are all words Lara is familiar with. And Lara's my daughter, by the way. Lara, we need to pick them up and put them away. And that's how you learn. I remember learning pick it up from my mom. My toys were always scattered all over the place, scattered, tirado por todas partes. And my mom would say, Alberto, pick them up, pick them up, pick them up, pick them up. And finally I was like, okay, fine. Or clean up, también es limpia, organiza, clean up. So I learned these phrasal verbs because my mom said them to me a million times. And then when I became a teenager, the word pick it up, she was no longer referring to my toys. She was talking about the phone. So everything in context. The example I use always is how I learned how to say rellena el depósito. I remember it clear as day. We would go to the gas station and my mom would roll her window down and the guy would say, how can I help you? Or good morning, how are you? How can I help you? And my mom would say, fill it up, fill it up. A veces decía, with unleaded, sin plomo. So fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, hasta que ya digo, bueno, tiene que significar llénalo. So again, when we see things in context, it helps. This is why watching movies is good, because even if you don't catch the idiomatic expression, maybe from the context, you can figure out what's going on. Oh, and putting that into context, that 432 kilos of pressure, that basically means that you would have to build a Lego tower that is 2.17 miles high before the bottom Lego brick breaks. Eso es un trabalenguas. Before the bottom, el de abajo, Lego brick breaks. That's about 3.5 kilometers. So you can stack these things. To stack is amontonar, y un montón is a stack of something. See, I love it when things are easy like that in English. I'm going to stack this stack of newspapers in the corner. Well, you can stack these things 2.17 miles, or as I just said, what did I say? 3.5? See, I can't remember. 3.5 kilometers high before the pressure starts to make that bottom brick buckle. And when something buckles, it gives in, cede. It can't take the weight. Hey, we're looking at some really good vocabulary on this episode. Another thing I liked about the Lego company is their policies, sus políticas. Now, I don't know too much about it, but when I was researching this, I realized that they seem like good people. You know, a lot of companies are trying to look like they're good people, but as they're robbing people and, you know, price fixing, price gouging, all of these things that they do to make more profit. And profit is beneficio. Be careful, because beneficios de un trabajo, como me dan coche o algo así, you can say benefits or perks. Well, one of the perks of being a customer, a Lego customer, is that in the, and I quote, y lo voy a citar aquí, in the extremely rare event that your Lego set is missing a piece or has a broken piece, a faulty piece, Lego will gladly send you replacement bricks at no extra charge. Now, you can find out more about their policy at the Lego Brick Replacement Customer Service. But you know what? I think that's pretty cool. I think they say, hey, listen, sometimes we make mistakes. Not much, but if we do, let us know. And they're also very open to ideas, which I think is great. You can propose an innovative idea. I believe the British say innovative. Well, in the United States, we say innovative. You can propose an innovative idea for a Lego set. They have a website. It's called Lego Ideas. And if you get 10,000 social media supporters for your idea, Lego will review the project and who knows, maybe decide to send it into production. So if you have any ideas for Lego sets, maybe I can even help you. I have more than 10,000 followers. Maybe we can get our own Lego set based on something in Spanish history. I don't know. Any ideas? Just like Lego, I'm always open to ideas for my classes and for these episodes. Remember, if you have any ideas for upcoming episodes or things you'd like to hear about, drop me a line. Dime algo. Another thing that makes this company cool is the founder. Remember, I told you, old Kirk Christensen. Well, he didn't want to make war attractive. You know, he didn't want kids to look at war as something nice. So there are no Lego sets that directly focus on war. Like you won't find, you know, the World War II, the Allies or the Axis powers set, because they're not trying to promote, fomentar war. And I think that's really cool. But now let me explain something. They do have guns, but they didn't feature those small toy guns until 1999. And they did that in their Western set, Del Oeste. So the company has guns in their toys, you know, these little guns. Obviously, it's not like a squirt gun. Do you know what a squirt gun is? It's another way of saying a water gun. Why? Because it squirts water. Well, what's more logic? Water gun, squirt gun? They're both logical words. And the last fun fact before we take a look at some idiomatic expressions that have to do with playing and with childhood, the famous villain character, I didn't know about this, the bad guy, because there's got to be a bad guy. Well, his name is Ogel, and Ogel is the main antagonist in Lego Alpha Team. Now, do we have any detectives? Did anybody figure that one out? Ogel is the guy who's the bad guy, the guy who doesn't play good, as their motto says. Well, think about it. Ogil backwards is Lego. Aha! So they're creative, they're open-minded, and as we'll look at a little bit later on, they can help us educate our children and ourselves. You guys know me. I believe anything and everything can be a learning experience. But let's take a look at some expressions. One thing that I used to think about a lot too with Lego was there was an ad campaign. I think it was a commercial that was on TV all the time, and it's probably still on TV. And there's a very popular waffle brand in the United States. They make frozen waffles, gofres congelados. And the name of the brand is Eggo. So it's Eggo waffles. Es como huevo con O. And the expression, someone would be making the waffles and someone would come to the toaster and steal them because they smelled so good. That was the campaign, the running joke. And the catchphrase was Lego my ego. And when I used to hear that, I would say Lego, like Lego bricks. But in this case, it's let go of, suelta my ego. So Lego my ego. So if you said to somebody, Lego my Lego, you're saying suelta mis legos. But as we said, we have to share and share alike because we don't want to play anybody. Well, we want to play with people, jugar con ellos, right? But we don't want to play them or to play them for a fool. And if you play somebody, te la juegas, ¿no? Juegas a la persona. Lo tomas por tonto, I think would be a good translation. Don't play me for a fool. Or maybe you want to downplay something. This happens often with politicians. Quitarle importancia. It has nothing to do with playing, but I figured since we were going to look at some play idioms, I would find some of the most common expressions and words that use the word play. And I don't want to downplay it. And I don't want to play it up either. Oh, ahí tienes la otra, el inverso, resaltarlo. Okay, guy, you're a great singer, but you're not a good actor. So we want to downplay the acting and we want to play up the singing. Okay, and maybe the person will say, don't play with me. Don't toy with me. No juegues conmigo. We also use toy, and I'm sure we looked at it in the toy episode as well, is to toy with somebody as vacilar. But we also toy with an idea. Estamos botando una idea, as we say in English. We're bouncing an idea around. We're toying with an idea. And some people think that that's child's play. Do you remember this expression? I'm sure we looked at it in the toy episode. Well, we use it a lot, and it's the name of a popular movie. I'll give you the catchphrase. I'm Chucky. Wanna play? That's right. El muñeco este, Chucky. We say Chucky. And the movie is called Child's Play, que es juego de niños. But if something is child's play, it means it's really easy. Es pan comido. And if something is easy, well, then I'm game. Ooh, I'm game. What does that mean? That means me apunto. Yo soy partidario. I like it. I'm game. I'm in. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Ooh, and there's another one. Like a kid in a candy store means estás como un niño con nuevas botas, you say in Spanish. Vamos, estás encantadísimo. He's like a kid in a candy store. My daughter is going to be like a kid in a candy store when we go to Legoland. And we'll wrap up today's show talking about the educational or developmental aspect. Remember, these can be used as learning tools. And not just for, children like my daughter who we already play, but children with special needs, children with autism. They say that the repetition and structured play offered by Lego bricks helps autistic children develop nonverbal and verbal communication, as well as sharing and teamwork. So I think that's awesome. This is something that can help kids. And I imagine if it can help kids, it can help adults, but not just kids with special needs. As I said, who doesn't need to learn to be a better communicator, both verbally and non-verbally? Who doesn't need to learn how to share more or how to work on teamwork and being a better team player, as well as motor skills and self-esteem? There's no feeling in the world like putting something together, building it, and making it yourself. And kids and families have been learning with Lego and will continue to learn and laugh with Lego as long as this world goes on. I'm sure of it. And I'm going to end with an expression that I love. We say in English, the family that plays together stays together. O sea, la familia que juega junto se mantiene junto, se queda junto. So keep playing, familia. It's a pleasure to keep playing with you. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of FYI.